Wake up at 5:30 every day, working, exercising every single day, even in the weekends. No video games, Netflix, the whole fucking time. And I'm just 16, by the way. So you basically avoid tasks. You wait for the perfect time to start a specific task. You basically, you have perfectionism maybe, and you don't start or you don't finish a task that you have to finish, or you end up like just distracting yourself watching some podcasts, and you're coping basically that, saying that it's productive, you know what I mean? Or you're like, basically like thinking that you have to be motivated to do that specific task. So if you relate with this and you basically procrastinate a lot, or at least quite an amount of time that you don't want to be procrastinating, with this video I'm going to help you so that you can like maybe not procrastinate, not stop procrastinating forever, not like you're going to not procrastinate anymore after watching this video, but I promise that a few hours of your day are going to be the most productive hours of your life, probably. Okay, so just follow what I'm going to say in this video, because it's just one step. Okay, just follow what I'm going to talk about in this video, and you will be way more productive, and this amount of hours you will not procrastinate, or at least it's more difficult that you procrastinate. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, so before we start, just don't forget to subscribe, and let's start. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about here, it's basically it's like the best way to not procrastinate. Like, it's the best environment to not procrastinate. It's the best environment to not get distracted. It's like the best for everything. Okay, so I remember that before, my type of routine used to be like, I used to wake up like at 9 a.m. and then I was doing music at the time. So this was probably in the weekends when I was still in school. But yeah, basically, like wake up at 9 a.m. and then like doing music until like probably 12 p.m. something like that. That was my routine, and then I even used to do more at afternoon. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, that's what they do. Like a lot of people, they start working probably at about 8, 7, but usually I think it's 9 to 10 a.m. And that's the mistake. Okay, that's the mistake that I was making as well. The earlier you start working, the better. Okay, so let me like give in a scenario that you probably would think that you would not procrastinate on that scenario, or at least it would be extremely difficult, which is if you wake up way more early. Okay, because the more later that you start working, I mean, imagine like you start work at 2 p.m. It's way more easy to procrastinate. Your energy is not the same. Everybody's already awake. There's no like, it's not the same environment. But if you start working very early, it's better. You get what I mean? Like it's most people are still like sleeping, or at least there's not a lot of noise. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. You get what I mean? So basically the first time I started to do that was when, instead of wake up at like, I was just like wake up at 7 a.m. to go to school, but I started to wake up at 6 a.m. And then from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I had a block of an hour that I was doing music, basically making beats. Okay, just a side point, but making beats, it's like the music that you listen to, but without the lyrics. It's basically something that you can do on the computer these days, and it's quite very fun. You know what I mean? It's difficult as well, but. So that's what I was doing, you know, because I was planning to do that to make money at the time. That was my plan, to make money. You know what I mean? And I liked that as well. So that was a nice thing. You know what I mean? But so I started to do that, and like was basically one of the most productive hours I had. You know what I mean? And I could keep, and it was basically every single day I could wake up at 6 a.m. It's like. Sometimes like I'm going to work at 2 p.m. There's some days that you can work at 2 p.m. because of some whatever reason, but because I was waking up at just 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I always had like maybe sometimes, rarely, I have to go to a trip and then we have to go early, but most of the times I could just do the work there, like no thing that happens at 6 a.m. you get what I mean? And usually it was dark as well, so it was silence. Well, it's like was the best environment for me to just work. You know what I mean? It was like, I think in the first time I procrastinated a little bit more, but after a while I just like got used to it. You know what I mean? Because I was like 14 years old, so you can understand. But yeah, so how do you structure these? Because it's just not like about waking up at early, which already helps. But I'm going to give you some tips here so that I have like you are even more likely to, you're less likely to procrastinate, and you're more focused and all of those things. You get what I mean? But procrastination is very important. It's very important you don't procrastinate. Okay, so I recommend waking up like when it's dark. That's probably one of the best times. You know, it will all depend on you. Okay, it will depend if you're willing to do this, and it will depend as well if you can do this. Okay, but basically, the more that you can go to sleep earlier, the better. Okay, and I'm not saying like wake up. There was times that I was like going to sleep at 7 or 6 p.m. You don't have to do this, but I would say maybe 8 or 10 or 9 p.m. Okay, try to go to sleep earlier, at least 1 hour more early. Okay, and I don't know how much time do you think that you need to sleep every night, but I would recommend like I don't know like 7 to 8 hours, no more than that. I think maybe you're different, you get what I mean, but most likely you're not. You're probably just sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours, you get what I mean. Most people 6, 7 hours, I think so. Okay, so you go to sleep earlier, you get what I mean. Okay, pretty nice. Now you can wake up earlier. So maybe you were going to sleep at this. I think it's very common. People wake up at 7 a.m. They wake up at 7 a.m. and they go to sleep like at 11 p.m. or midnight. Okay. Now imagine that you're going to sleep at 9 p.m. Okay. Which maybe for you is like, oh, too early. But like for successful people, it's actually kind of normal. You know what I mean? But maybe 10 p.m. whatever. But imagine 9 p.m. Now you can wake up straight away at 5 a.m. or even if you sleep 7 hours at 4 a.m. Now if you just have to do some things at 7 a.m., you get what I mean? Or even if you're like, if your work is like a business and you do it at home or you have control over it, you get what I mean? Even if you have the same, everybody has the same hours. Those hours from like the 4 to 10 a.m. or whatever, or 5 to 10 a.m., those are different hours, okay? So you're going to wake up, it's dark, it's silence, and because the reason why you woke up was to work, you're way less likely to procrastinate. I'm telling you, it's so rare for me to procrastinate when I wake up early just with the purpose to do some work. You understand? Okay, you understood. Okay, I'm most likely I'm not going to procrastinate. It's easier to focus. Okay, but how will you make this more productive? You get what I mean? You just do the most important task here. Okay, so you will most likely not procrastinate. As I told you, like the probability that you procrastinate in a situation like this, especially if you woke up with the purpose to do like the most important task that you have to do, you have no distractions. You have like, it's extremely difficult to procrastinate. And I'm going to give you another example, for you to be able to understand why even if you're doing the most hard task, you're probably not going to procrastinate. You know what I mean? I really hope you're going to be. Maybe if you're like terrible, you procrastinate so much, but most likely you're not that person. You procrastinate quite a good amount of times. The bad amount of times, but you still can do the work. Most likely you're not like someone that procrastinates 85% of the time. But the thing is, because the first thing you're doing on your day is a hard task, what's going to happen is that the task doesn't seem to be that much hard. Why? Because there's a concept called brain points. So basically, what they're saying is that the more you use your brain points to do tasks, to make decisions, the more that you kind of like use your mind, mental energy, the more that, for example, at 2 p.m. now you used so much of your brain points to make decisions, to do this thing, to do this, to think about this. No. When you're going to do the hard task at 2 p.m., your brain doesn't work very well. You know what I mean? Your brain saying, oh, this is too hard. But if you do as the first thing, it's not that hard. You don't even like that. Basically, what I recommend is you don't eat, because that you lose a little bit of brain points. You eat afterwards. That's what I recommend. And as well, it's good because a lot of people eat when they eat food, or especially there are some people that are sensitive to carbohydrates, so they eat that and then they get some brain fog. They're more tired. So you're fasting, so you're hungry. So your brain is sharper. You are doing as the first thing that hard tasks, that extremely hard task. It's silence, no distractions. It's so easy. I'm telling you this. It's so easy to not procrastinate in a type of circumstance like that. It's so easy to not procrastinate. I'm telling you, from experience, from personal experience, because I have been doing this for like more than a year, basically. Like I can say like for a year and a half or something like that. You know what I mean? From experience, it's like the best way for productivity, but basically the best. Basically, if you're like if you do this, basically, it's so easy to not procrastinate, even though you're doing like something extremely hard that maybe you have been procrastinating for so much time. Okay. Another thing that to give you another tip, it's listen to music that has no lyrics, especially if you're doing like something that is about writing. So you don't want like some lyric, someone singing, because that confuses your mind. But as well, listen to lo-fi and not songs, because sometimes, especially if they talk about like sex, drugs, killing people, or whatever the fuck, sometimes what happens is that you end up thinking about that. So you kind of get distracted without even noticing. That's something I'm not doing 100%. When I'm doing the writing, which is like the first hour, I'm listening to a lo-fi, but I'm listening like to a music with lyrics, which I'm probably going to stop doing that, you get what I mean, because I've just realized, you get what I mean, that I already knew, you get what I mean, but I'm realizing that sometimes I'm getting like a little bit distracted from that, you get what I mean, so that's something that I even have to improve, you get what I mean. But yeah, with the lo-fi, it's so more easy to just, it could be lo-fi, another thing. I don't recommend funk, it's funk, funk as well, even though sometimes it has no lyrics, sometimes it has a little bit, and it's just not the same thing, okay? Listen to that, okay? Now think about it. Before you were starting work, maybe at 9 p.m., 9 a.m., you already ate breakfast, you already used so much of your brain points, you are more tired, you have some brain fog, there's a lot of noise already, maybe some people in your house are awake, or whatever the fuck place you're working on, or whatever. And now you're like, wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m., 4, 5, 6 a.m. You're doing the work with silence, or listening to lo-fi, not a song with lyrics that distracts you, give you like, you know what I mean, like when you're listening to something, like you kind of think about it sometimes, you get what I mean, and then you're doing the most hard thing, is the first thing that you're doing, you get what I mean, so you haven't ate anything, you're fasting, your brain is sharper, you haven't used that much brain points, so that the hard test doesn't seem to be that much hard. And now, like, your capacity to focus and to not procrastinate, it's so easy to just not procrastinate. I'm telling you, bro. It's so easy to not procrastinate. Okay. So that's it. So this is what your action step, okay? Just think about, okay, what is the time? Not just like one time I can wake up, go to sleep earlier, and then another time's not. Try to find a time that you can wait, like a good time to wake up early, that you can do it consistently. So maybe it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. or maybe if you're sleeping less hours, you can wake up earlier, whatever. Find your time and try to find the time that you can keep it up even in the weekends for the whole week, okay? After you find a time, do it right now, think about it right now as I'm speaking. Okay, after finding the time, yeah, just understand, okay, what's the most important task that I want to be doing, or just a task that you have been procrastinating for a very long time, and just say, okay, this is the task that I'm going to do, and for this amount of hours, and then if I'm going to have a break, just set up, okay, this is the amount of hours that I'm going to be working. I have a break from this to this time, or maybe you don't want to have you don't have to have break. The break is just if you have to go to the bathroom. I don't have breaks. My breaks is like to go to the bathroom. And something I recommend here, it's to have as least things as you possibly can that you do before you do the work. So I'm a little bit extreme on this. The only thing I do is take a cold shower, because basically when I take a cold shower, my brain works better. I'm not that much groggy of waking up. Do you get what I mean? The first, well, you know, when you wake up, your brain doesn't work very well. Maybe that's not, you don't relate with that, but yeah, I take a cold shower. You can take a cold shower as well, or a hot shower, whatever, or a hot shower and cold, or whatever I don't know. You can do the way you want, okay? And I don't even brush my teeth because I want to do at least things as possible. But of course, after I brush my teeth. But this is like a time that I basically don't make contact with nobody, so it's not really a problem that I didn't brush my teeth, okay? So yeah, do at least things as possible. Even like you're probably going to drink coffee or something, or especially if you're going to drink water, just not coffee. Try to prepare the bottle the night before, or have prepared before you're going to start the work, because that's so more like you want to make it the least decisions possible. Another advice here to give to you, it's to, because what I'm doing right now is that I wake up, I take a cold shower, and then I organize everything that I'm going to do. So I'm going to edit the video. So before I even start the work, I put all the files there. I organize everything, you get what I mean? I plan everything, okay, put the files here, okay, prepare the camera, prepare the light when I'm going to record the video, okay, prepare the Cortex page, it's kind of the Notion that I use to make the script. I prepare everything so that when I start the work, it's already everything there. I don't have to distract myself. Oh, I have to put the files from the camera to the computer. Oh, and even on my editor, which is CapCut, I even set it up all the things there. I set up everything. I even like edit some things, really simple things, just the more least important things, so that when I just go edit there, it's already everything there. Just start editing. You get what I mean? So I plan everything. You get what I mean? And it's so easy to procrastinate. The tasks don't seem to be that much hard. Even the task that I'm doing right now, which is recording a video, which is basically, I guess, the most hard task, okay? It's so easy to not procrastinate. So easy. That's what I said, like, for example, if you try to do this like in the afternoon, it's not gonna work very well. Most likely, not gonna work very well. That's what I said, like, it's just gonna work for like a couple of hours, okay? But the thing is, if you do the most hard and important tasks first, after a while, like, you don't even have to be that much. The thing is, you usually procrastinate on doing tasks when they're hard. Now, maybe with this couple of hours, you already have done all the hard tasks. So you're not gonna most likely not procrastinate at afternoon, the least important and least hard tasks, okay? This is basically the secret that a lot of people, successful people use, okay? It's like they do the hard things first, you get what I mean? And then if they want to work more hours, you get what I mean? Like, they just like, usually just spend that time just doing more like the shallow work, which is like less important, doesn't require that much brain points. It's more just easy, but could be beneficial as well, but not as much. Like basically the hard important task, like they get you 80% of the results. That's why you have to do it first and focus more on them, because I just do this work. The rest doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? Like, of course, sometimes I make a thumbnail, but it's not like afterwards, doesn't really matter. I'm doing the hard things first, you know what I mean? I cannot even remember, to be honest, like a time that I really procrastinated. I just remember one time that I'm thinking of right now. Maybe I procrastinated, but I don't really remember. But that was sick. My head was hurting so much, so I just ended up like trying to watch some YouTube videos to feel better, but didn't help me. So I just ended up like going downstairs and just sleeping there. And I was just saying, my mother noticed that I was kind of like, you know what I mean? Not feeling really well. But of course, when you're sick, it's not, you're going to procrastinate. That's just like the nature of the things, okay? So yeah, take action on this, okay? Make sure you now know a specific, when you're going to go to sleep, when you're going to go to sleep, the time that you're going to wake up, the task that you're going to do, and just try to plan everything. Like even when you just wake up and prepare everything. Okay, prepare this. Okay, put the bottle here. Okay, here, so that you don't have to really think about it. You get what I mean? You just like boom, boom, doing the work, boom, boom, boom. You're not going to procrastinate. Most likely, that's not going to happen unless you're like really a procrastinator, a professional procrastinator. Okay, and I was kind of a professional procrastinator. But even for me, that was extremely lazy. Very lazy, to be honest. Extremely lazy, I don't know if that's the best word, but it worked for me. Okay, so most likely it's going to work for you as well. So take action on this. Set up everything on the hard test. I'm going to start waking up like 4, 5, 6 a.m., whatever. You can start waking up less early and then more early if you still struggle with that. And yeah, that's basically how we will stop procrastinating. At least on the hard tasks, which is probably the tasks that you're procrastinating on. Am I right? Oh fuck, what the fuck I said everything wrong, but you know, I know I'm right, you get what I mean? The things that you procrastinate is on the hard things. You procrastinate, a YouTuber most likely is not going to procrastinate on making like a simple thumbnail. Thumbnails I make for the videos, you know, pretty easy. I'm not procrastinating on that. It's so easy to not procrastinate on making thumbnail. But the hard tasks, if you don't create the best environment, if you don't have the right mental energy, if you don't have a lot of mental energy, it's so easy to procrastinate on the hard tasks, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's it. I hope I helped you, brother. Take action, and yeah, most likely you will stop procrastinating on the hard tasks. That's basically the point of the video. Not even like stop procrastinating, but stop procrastinating on the things, the important and the hard tasks that you have to do. So yeah, that's it. Hope I helped you, brother, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye.